Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us at Unity in Naperville for our Sunday service. We're so glad that you're with us from wherever you are. We're finding people further and further away from Naperville, Illinois, and we're just thrilled to have your energy here with us this morning. I'm Kitty Benson. I'm the minister at Unity, and I'm here today with Kim-Char Meredith, who will be bringing some beautiful music. Kim, are you there? Say hey. Hey. Good morning. We're glad to have you here. Glad to have Parker, although we can't see him wave at us. Parker, we're deeply grateful for you making this possible for us through
He's waving.
technology. And thank you to the universal mind that has dreamed this up, that has allowed this experience to happen for so many spiritual communities around the world today. We're so grateful to be able to stay in touch with you. And one of the ways that we've been starting our online service every week is with a 15-minute meditation. And for some of you, if you're not a meditator, that may seem like a really long time. But I'm going to invite you to stay with me as long as you can. We'll start the music at around 11 o'clock today, but for the next few moments, let's just take advantage of this time in the quiet. And I'll invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable, or we'll have a beautiful picture up on the screen that you can look at. And as we do this, as we prepare to connect our thoughts to the thoughts of God, we like to begin by just relaxing our body. So if you'll join me in taking a deep breath, and a big sigh, and another one as you feel that air going out, feel your body relaxing. I allow myself to be comfortable in my chair. Feeling every muscle in my body beginning to release any tension. From my eyebrows and eyelids to my mouth, to my neck and shoulders, all the way down my spine. I feel myself relaxing, comfortable, supported by my chair so that I can fully release my weight onto it and feel my feet deeply connected to the earth beneath me. And I continue to allow my breath to move at its own pace. And now I invite my thoughts to drift down toward my heart. And imagine that there is a door to my heart that I'm opening now. There's a golden light inside a beautiful room waiting just for me. I step inside this room inside my heart. And realize this space is my mind, where all my thoughts have been stored for a lifetime. My beliefs, my feelings, my past experiences, all held safely in this golden light within my heart. It may feel rather crowded in this moment, but I'm going to choose one thought that has seemed to taken up a lot of space in my heart and mind. Just take a moment to browse and ask yourself, what one thought has been getting in the way of my easy expression of life? It may have just come up in your mind in the last week, or something that's been there for a lifetime. One thought that has been interrupting your easy path in life. I realize now that this one thought does not need to stay in this room, that I can release this thought and trust that other loving, divine thoughts of God within this room are there to support me. I see this thought as a pile of leaves, and I pick up a broom and begin to sweep them out the door of my heart. Any thought that I see here that no longer serves my well-being, I have the power to sweep away, to clear space, to open the space for truth and beauty to take its place. And now, as I see this room and feel the golden light of Spirit surrounding and infilling me, I take a moment to simply rest my thoughts on Spirit itself. The goodness of God that is also present here. I choose one divine quality that I want to rest in for a moment. It may be peace. And I breathe into that idea of peace, feeling my being relaxing more deeply. It may be the divine quality of wisdom, the very mind of God offering inspiration to me now. An answer to a question I've been asking. I simply rest with my mind open to receive a divine idea. It may be the divine quality of love. Feeling in this moment completely surrounded by a power that desires only good for me, that sees only good in me and around me. This power of love at this moment is working for my good. And I simply relax and rest in this loving, synchronizing power that is bringing harmony to my life. Perhaps the divine idea that I rest my thoughts on now is joy. For joy is always in this room in my heart. And there is always room in me for joy. With God's presence within me, there is always light, peace, enthusiasm for life. There is nothing I need do to make myself joyful, but simply clear the way to see and feel God's joyful presence in me. While I rest in this golden space, I take a moment to think of one thing that I'm grateful for. It may be a loved one, a pet, a beautiful place in nature, a wonderful gift that the universe has brought you. Take a moment to feel thankful, deeply thankful for the good that is in your life. As I take another deep breath, I feel deeply relaxed and grateful to know that this beautiful space within me, filled with divine ideas, perfect peace, and harmonizing love, is always present, always with me, always living through me and as me. For I know that there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. It is the all-loving goodness of God. And as we take another deep breath and open our eyes, we join together in speaking our invocation. The words are up here on the screen. May we know these words for the first time deeply as the truth of our being. Let's say them together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. And so it is. Amen. So let's take some time to open up our hearts a little bit more joyfully, broadly, deeply in music. I'm going to ask Kim-Char to come back and bring us into some melody and harmony.
Okay. I'm still in the meditation, I have to tell you. That was beautiful. Good morning, everyone. We started that meditation with opening the door of our hearts. Let's have that remain open. And I think of a door as moving two ways. That which we allow out, that which we allow in. We allow and we release what doesn't serve us right now. And we allow in all that is good, yes? Amen. I allow goodness to come in. I am ready to receive. I allow goodness to come in. I believe, I believe, I believe. I receive. I allow love into my life. I believe, I believe, I believe. Welcome hope and faith. Welcome loving ways. Welcome hope and faith. Welcome loving ways. I allow fortune in my home. I am ready to receive. I allow fortune in my home. I believe, I believe, I believe. I allow surrender in my soul. I am ready to let go. I allow surrender in my soul. I let go, I let go, I let go. And welcome hope and faith. Yes. Welcome loving ways. Welcome hope and faith. And welcome hope and faith. Welcome loving ways. I allow goodness to come in. I am ready to receive. I allow goodness to come in. I believe, I believe, I believe. I believe, I believe, I believe, yes. And I believe, I believe, I believe. Yes, we do. So
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I believe, I allow. Wow. And notice that the first word in that statement is I. No one else can do that for us.
yes.
It's ours to do, and no one else can take it from us. It's ours to own, to allow what we desire in our hearts.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kim-Char. That was beautiful.
Thank you. You're welcome.
You know, I am sad to report that we still don't have a day for our release. Normalcy is still somewhere out in the future. Normalcy. I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever return to what we used to be. But what I am noticing is that people are starting to take advantage of this time in different ways that are doing a little bit of cleaning. I don't know about you, but I'm on garbage day. I'm seeing a whole bunch more stuff out on the curbs. I'm seeing people cleaning out their garages. They're talking about cleaning out their basements and cleaning out just all areas of their home right now. And I also am hearing about people resting more. They're sleeping in, they're not commuting at this point for most of us. And so they're actually having time to sleep in a little bit more, and they have a lighter schedule. There's not so much on their calendar. The kids are home. So their bodies are getting a chance to recover. And there's also people who are taking advantage of spring and nature. One of my neighbors came home with some rose bushes the other day, and I'm excited to see what that becomes in her yard. And I know a lot of people, again, are a lot of yard waste bags out on the curb right now. So people are cleaning up and preparing their yards and gardens for springtime, and just basically enjoying life. You know, they're having more time with their family. They're out taking bike rides for the first time in a long time, or walks in nature, and they're having a chance to enjoy their hobbies a little bit more. I actually heard somewhere in the last few weeks that a puzzle company, I think it was in Missouri, is doing like 100 times the business that they did a year ago. So people are taking time to just sit down and play, which is really fun. I'm glad to hear that. So there are hidden gifts within a crisis if we will take the time to look for them. And I don't want to deny the challenges that so many of us are experiencing during this time. And we're all experiencing change at the same time. But I truly believe that inherent in the change, insight is available to us. New ways of looking at life is available to us. And we can either be intentional with this extra time while we wait, or we can just ride that elevator, watching the floors go by mindlessly, waiting for the elevator door to open. Now, at some point, the government will open the elevator door and let us off. But the question about which floor you're going to exit on is really up to you. You can get off on the same floor that you started on when all of this began to happen. But do you really want to? Is that really where you want to pick up life again? Is it the same place that you entered the elevator? Or would you prefer to see life in a new way, to be able to use this crisis as an opening of your mind and heart to something different? You know, a lot of times when something like this happens in our life, we feel like it's happening to us. But what if we took this opportunity to look at this pandemic as happening for us, for me? This is happening for me. Would you just say that to yourself? This is happening for me. And the next question is, what? What is it for? What is behind it? What is within it? Well, what about if for as long as we're sheltering in place, that we don't just spend our time cleaning out the basement or resting our bodies or planting a garden or getting out and enjoying life, but we also take some time to clear out our thoughts. It's almost like we have a basement in our consciousness that needs to be cleaned out. What if we took some time to rest our mind on spirit, to rest our thoughts deeply within ourselves and open up, pause, listen, contemplate our meaning for life, our purpose for being here? What if we took this time to plant new intentions for life, making decisions, dreaming, deciding to take a new step in life? What if we decided that when we get off this elevator, we're going to actually start enjoying life at a different level, a higher level of being, one that reveals more of our spiritual nature? This is a gift that we have been given, and it's opportunity for us to truly understand why we're here. And if you're game, I'm going to take you through a whole bunch of questions today that I hope you will take time to consider over the next few weeks. These questions I've put into a PDF that you can access. You can just go straight to our website homepage, and there will be a link for a handout for While We Wait. And our unityinnaperville.org website is going to be available on the screen here before we leave today, but that's where you can start. The link will take you to our chat room, and it will be inside the live stream chat room. So hopefully you'll take some time to download that this week and take a look at it. But here's where I wanted to start today. And we're talking about cleaning or clearing out our consciousness. And it's like a forest fire. You know, I don't know if you've seen how when a forest fire comes through and decimates everything, within days, new life starts to sprout up. But the clearing has to come first. And so during this COVID-19 experience, why don't we stop and ask ourselves, what has been cleared out of my life that I'm actually starting to appreciate? What am I doing without right now that I realize has simplified my life, that has made my life easier or slower or more restful? What do I want to continue to keep clearing out of my life when life goes back to normal? And also, similar to what we did during our meditation, go into the room of your heart and mind and ask yourself, what can I let go of? You know, I have a really beautiful story that I want to share with you from Michael Chase. He wrote the book, Am I Being Kind? And he talks about wanting to have this experience of going within and clearing out and getting a deeper understanding. He starts by saying, he's created this space in meditation where he's entered into a room, a great big room for him to do his work in. And he said, who am I? And what is my life really all about? That's what I came into this room to find out. But as I flipped the light switch on in this mystical room, rather than revealing who I was, it revealed with glowing clarity who I was not. This was profoundly illuminating for me, and at the same time, quite overwhelming. The area was enormous, so huge that I couldn't see where it ended. Despite its vast dimensions, there was very little space to move around in. Cluttered with everything from material items, personal labels, and disempowering belief systems, it was an utter mess and desperately needed to be cleared out. Standing there, I could see 30 plus years of accumulations and all of the things that once defined me. Everything was piled a mile high: awards, job titles, bank accounts, cars, past relationships, clothing, hairstyles, Lord help me, successes, failures, and even a blue ribbon for winning a push-up contest in the 4th grade. Based on my old theory that accumulation equals purpose, these were the things that I'd identified my existence with. I finally realized that letting go of this delusional belief system was the first step to understanding who I was and why I was here. For months, I returned to this same room through meditation, each time scrubbing and purging until I was finally able to see the walls and floors. Although it wasn't easy, truckloads of emotional debris had been removed and thrown into a cosmic dumpster the size of the Grand Canyon. Hundreds, if not thousands, of negative labels and beliefs, from depressed and victim of a dysfunctional family to my father's suicide was my fault, had finally been destroyed through this visualization technique, each one tossed into a towering bonfire in my mind. To my surprise, letting go of this old model of myself created an overwhelming sense of peace. My conscience had never felt lighter. While there were still a few items that I wasn't ready to throw away, I experienced the bliss of simplicity and personal freedom as each piece of waste was removed. Surely I'd have to visit this room again one day, but I was going to try my best not to go back for some time. As I was finally leaving, I turned off the lights and closed the heavy metal door behind me. Turning to make sure it was locked, I noticed 3 faded letters on it: E-G-O. Ego. There it was. I'd finally met the mental gremlin that had been responsible for most of my suffering. Ego. We can't live without the ego, and we're not here to destroy the ego, but we are here to notice where the ego has taken hold and controlled our thinking, controlled our feelings and our beliefs and our actions that are not serving our greater good. So this is an opportunity for us to create our own room in consciousness and to go in and ask ourselves, what am I giving power to that is holding me back? What old hurt or old enemy am I still giving my power to? What victim role am I playing? What history have I got that I am still letting play out over and over again, where I truly never move forward because I'm always living in the past? What roles am I playing that really are not the roles that I want to play? What do I let other people say to me that has embedded itself in my consciousness and made me believe that I am less than? These are what we call error thoughts that the ego builds up over time. And this is our chance to find 1 or 2 at least that really seem to have gotten in our way of life and put them in a bonfire or sweep them out the door. And if it takes a few times of sweeping, keep at it. There's another thing that we tend to do that holds us back, and that is to resist what is. So many things happen in our life that we have no power over changing. Someone in our life leaves us or passes away. There's nothing that we can do to change them or that situation, and yet we're still pushing or resisting that situation. We've been fired from a job or we went into bankruptcy. That cannot be undone. And yet we still push and resist and judge and feel negativity about it as we think about it. Slamming our fist and demanding that life should be fair, but it's not. That resisting energy is something that we too might look at and realize this is the time to surrender, to let this go, to hand this over to the presence and power of love, to bring harmony into my life again. It's only possible when we let go and let love. And I think as we do that, we will find that there is greater good to be found. Something that Mary Morrissey spoke about in her DVD on Prosperity Plus, up on the screen. She says, when the dark night comes upon you, it's part of your soul's curriculum. Something will happen that you didn't want to have happen. And the first thing you do is everything you can do to try and make it go away. But when you discover your personal power is not big enough to make it go away, if you surrender to it, a strange feeling will come over you that you don't want it to end too soon because you really do want everything it came to give you. Can you open your heart to that idea? That no matter how difficult this past experience has been, it also came to give you something. And when you surrender your resistance to it, that is when Spirit can show you the gift. That is when you can start to see who you are not, so that you can begin to understand who you are. Just keep asking Spirit with every negative, hurtful thought, is this really serving my highest good? I surrender this to you, Spirit. I allow it to be cleaned and cleared from my consciousness. And we also want to take some time to rest, not just our bodies, but let's rest our thoughts on God, to turn our thoughts inward more often so that we may listen, that we can observe what's going on inside that room in our heart, that we can contemplate the thoughts that are coming up, that we can question our beliefs and seek to understand a deeper meaning for our reason here. This is an opportunity during COVID-19. You know, so many of us are busy longing for the way things were in the past, or we're impatient for getting on with our future. We're busy labeling with negativity about what's happening right now and creating a stronger sense of angst in our being and making judgments about our life right now because of our past experiences. But this is an opportunity for us to rest those thoughts and turn right into the present moment, holding the idea, peace, be still. Letting your thoughts have some time every day, resting in the divine ideas that we talked about during meditation. Resting in God's presence of love, which sees you as perfect and whole. It's a love that is working for your good and that wants only good for you. How much renewal can we experience if we will take the time to rest our thoughts on divine wisdom, waiting for that inspiration to come, seeking and finding, as Jesus said, knocking on that door, knowing that it will open and reveal, answering the questions that we may have in our life. This is the time to get still and allow divine inspiration to come through as you rest your thoughts on the spiritual truth of who you are. I have several questions that I'm going to offer to you today as you are resting your thoughts in Spirit. And I truly believe that if you ask these questions of yourself, you will feel yourself opening up more broadly to Spirit, and your your peace and your understanding of life will deepen. So here's just a very simple question. What in my life is most meaningful to me? And what have I found during this isolation period to be valuable? Maybe it's that you're finding more time with your family and that's what you want to make sure you make time for in the future. But what is meaningful to me during this time that I want to make sure continues in my future? You can also ask yourself, what have you been missing that is meaningful to you? What have you not been allowed to experience over these last few weeks that you want to make sure to make a priority in your life when we come back into normalcy? Take some time to ask yourself not how am I doing on the human scale with the amount of money that I have or how much education I've amassed or where I was on the career path, but simply just ask, who am I as a spiritual being? And what did I come here to be and to do? Many of us have some practical needs right now that if we're not careful, we can let our fear drive us to worry about, to work over, to try and figure out how to make ends meet right now or to stay healthy. But let's take a look at just one of these questions. If you are someone who was going to work every day and now suddenly you're working from home, I imagine that there's a lot less office politics in your life right now. There's a lot less time spent on commuting. So, what about if you who are now working at home take a look at the work itself that you're doing and ask yourself, is this work feeding my soul? Can I approach my work from a new perspective so that it reveals a stronger purpose, a deeper meaning in my work? Have I ever stopped and asked why this work is important in the world and how I can help contribute in some way? If you're someone who's lost your job during this pandemic, then it's an opportunity for you to consider or reconsider the work that you were doing and ask yourself, was it really fulfilling to me? Is it really something I want to go back to? Was it satisfying my heart? Or has there been something else that has been calling to me? And is now the time to be just playing with that new idea? Something that Cheryl Richardson wrote, she's an author. She said, if you were told that you could only visit one section of the bookstore for the rest of your life, what would it be? Consider that this is how you'll find what you truly love. I know I'm in my right and perfect place because I have always loved the self-help spiritual section of the bookstore. But what is interesting to you? What is something that you like to give a lot of attention to and is something that when you focus on it, time flies? And do you want this new idea, this new possibility in your life to become a career or just a hobby? And is there a piece of it that you could do right now today to just help you understand whether it really is for you? When you think about doing it regularly on a long-term basis, how does that feel in your heart? When you think about doing it, is it something that you see being a benefit to other people? Now's the time to ask those questions. For those of you who are retired or not needing to work right now, I imagine that many of your fun distractions, traveling or hanging out with friends or just a lot of busy activities, I imagine those have settled down quite a bit for you right now. And so perhaps this is an opportunity to look at what's left in your life because that really is the core of who you are, not what you're doing, not who you're hanging out with or where you're going, but who you are. Does it feel complete right now? Does your life and yourself feel complete? Do you feel like you're fulfilling your purpose? Or is there still more room for you to open up to a new attitude about life? Maybe coming from a serving perspective, bringing more love into the world in some way, or enjoying creativity at a greater level in your life. This is a good time to not let the superficial or the outside experiences of your life dominate. Turn within and ask yourself, where is the meaning in what I am doing? There's still time in life for me to expand and reveal more of my spiritual nature. If you're parenting someone, a child at home right now, probably more so than you were, or maybe you already were a full-time parent and now kids are home. full-time? What are you finding valuable right now with your family that you want to make sure you make time for in the future when things go back to normal? While you're waiting, what is truly meaningful in your relationship with your family? What's working and what's not working? What is something in this family dynamic that wants healing or wants releasing? Where in your parenting experience do you need to ask for help? Where in your parenting experience do you need to care for yourself more? Not just as a parent, but as a person. What are you as a person, separate from your parenting experience, hungry for that needs feeding? And can you make time for that right now? Or at least start to explore what those are. Those desires on our heart are the desires that God lays on our heart, but they require our attention. They're there to pull us forward on our life's journey, to help us continue to unfold and to grow and fulfill our purpose for being. So don't discount them as selfish. Trust that desires of your heart are something that are meant to not just lift you, but your family as well, or they wouldn't be there in the first place. Trust your desires and allow them to start expressing in your life. Respond to those desires, which takes us to planting. Can we plant a perpetual garden during this time? Plant things that will continue to grow and not only grow, but call us into greater growth. You know, Jesus told us, I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven, up here on the screen from Matthew 16:19. I'll give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. Whatever you loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. That is power, my friends. But notice, you have the keys. You can bind and you can loose. What will you plant that has value right now? What intention will you set? You, my darling, are a co-creator with God. Your life is completely your responsibility. No one else is responsible for what grows in your life but you. What can you plant right now that feels significant to your heart? That is an opportunity for you to create more or give more? What talents and gifts do you have that you've been burying or setting aside that you could be actually using right now, not only to free your own heart, but to support other people? Ask yourself, what gift do I have? It doesn't have to be huge. You know what? I'll give you an example. I went into the church office this week just to check in, see what was going on in the building. Some mail had come in and someone had dropped off a note, a couple from our church, that was so encouraging. And it was meant to thank the staff and our tech team and our music team, Kim-Char and Parker, and our board of trustees, and everybody that's been helping us stay connected to our spiritual community. They just wanted to thank us for that. And I immediately took a photograph of it and I sent it out to everyone that had been mentioned in the note. And then I thanked them. I sent them a note back and I told them, you have the gift of encouragement. That is a gift, to encourage others. And I told her how deeply grateful we were, both of them, how they've lifted up our spirits during this time. You can do that. You have a gift like that. It may not be the gift of encouragement, but there may be other gifts in you that you could be planting right now in your own life and in other people's lives. Another thing that you could do is, who in my life has a completely different perspective on things that I could engage in dialogue right now and just kind of share, you know, my take on life and my thoughts about where I want to go, and see what their thoughts are. Because when you take someone who's got a completely different perspective and you mix it with your own, and you're open-hearted, you're feeling a sense of open-mindedness in the conversation instead of protective, it's a chance for you to breed a whole new bush of roses that you wouldn't have been able to do on your own. That's a wonderful way to plant something new in your life, is to talk to someone who's very different from you. But set an intention to create. And when you do that, you create a vacuum that calls in the resources that you need, that calls in the divine ideas that you need, that calls in the energy and the joy and in the enthusiasm for it. because that is what the universe is here for, to support you in this process. And it won't be necessarily about what makes you the most money. It's more about what fills your heart. What makes your heart sing? What are you most passionate about? Because it's that passion that acts as a magnet to the next step and the next step and the next step. And you only need one step right now. You only need to know one step in your planting season that will start to sprout and lead to a next branch and another leaf and another bud. This is a chance for us to not only set an intention, but to call spirit in to work in us and as us and through us. This can be exciting. Ellen Davenport wrote a book called Hell in the Hallway, Light at the Door. And it's all about those people who are going through some kind of crisis where you're in this room enjoying life and suddenly you get thrown out and the door slams behind you, but the next door hasn't opened yet and you're stuck in the hallway. And she was interviewing different people, and she was interviewing a girl named Rachel. And here's what Rachel said. These days, I've come to respect the hallway. It's not so scary to me now because I know good stuff can happen there. Growth happens there. These days, I can willingly walk into the hallway and say, okay, bring it on. And know that when I have done my work, a new door will pop right open and I will walk through, confident of the new and exciting experiences the universe is eager to provide. Clearing your thoughts of the debris that is standing in the way of expressing your divine nature, resting your thoughts on the very source of your good, where your strength and your new ideas and your peace and your joy will come from. Asking those deep questions, resting your thoughts on what comes up for you and contemplating their meaning, planting an intention into the earth, saying, this is my next step to reveal more of my divine nature. And even then, while we wait, enjoying what's happening in your life right now. There are so many things in our life to be grateful for. Will you take the time to just look around you and see the blessings, to feel that strong sense of thankfulness for where you are right now, what you do have, what the universe has provided, trusting that it will continue to do so? Will you take this time to enjoy community? You're doing it right now by being part of the spiritual community online. We have lots of ways for you to do that. Just keep checking into unitycommunityconnect.com and find all the different things that are happening for us. Or go to our website. We'll talk more about that later today. But seek out the community in such a way that it's not only a place for you to receive the group energy from it, but it's also a place for you to inspire others and give your energy to others. Take some time to just enjoy spirit through meditation, through prayer, but just observing your life. Every time you feel a sense of love or joy or creativity or strength or wisdom, say, I am sensing spirit. And it feels good. This is the time to really become aware of that beauty of spirit all around us. Realizing that this time right now, while we wait, is not a waste. It's a time to grow if you are willing to do it. It's a time to plant that seed in the ground. And don't forget to ask spirit to do the work. It's really just getting in the right frame of mind, opening up your heart to new joys of possibility, setting a specific intention for something, and then letting go and letting God open the path for you and show you the next steps. I mentioned before, there is a PDF with all of these questions I've mentioned today on it. So if you want to go to our website, unityinnaperville.org, there will be a link on the homepage that will guide you to being able to download these questions. Something that I really encourage you to do this week and for the next many weeks that we will be sheltering in place. And trusting that these questions, if you will sit with them, truly sit with them, that new doors will open for you. And you will come out of this and get off this elevator at a floor so high you won't recognize life. It will be too wonderful for words. unityinnaperville.org. click on the link for the While We Wait handout. Let me finish by sharing another quote from Ellen Davenport in Hell in the Hallway. She said, as a society, a group, or as individuals, we may be catapulted into the hallway by sudden or tragic events we never imagined. Or we might be called into the hallway by our souls, eager to progress through our human endeavors. It might not appear to be a perfect creation, but the work is never finished. You can't get it wrong because you never get it done. The more consciously and intentionally you cross the thresholds, the greater your spiritual experience as a human being, and the better you express and experience the divine within. Let's take that into prayer. That is just, if we let these words really touch our hearts, there is infinite possibility here. We thank you, Spirit, that we are spirit, that we are infinite beings. We thank you for this human experience, limited as it may appear to our eyes. We know in this moment that divine wisdom is continually guiding our thoughts if we allow it. We say yes to divine wisdom. We give thanks for the creative mind that dwells within us, and open our hearts and minds, Spirit, to your divine ideas. What is ours to do? Who are we to be during this time of isolation? We thank you, Spirit, for the divine love that is the very energy that activates this universe and our very being. It is a love that sees our good, that wants our good, and is right now at this moment working for our good. We thank you for the harmony that it is bringing to our life, knowing that in this moment and every moment, as we say yes, all things truly are working for our highest good. So it is, and so we let it be. Amen. I hope that inspires you to move in some way internally first before you take action on the external while we wait. And we've come to a time in our service where we share our tithes and our love offerings with our spiritual community. I am so grateful for all of you who have been so faithful with your gifts. We are deeply blessed and deeply supported by what you have been giving, what you are giving and will be giving, to allow Unity's message to continue to be spoken into the ethers and supporting people as they grow and awaken to their own divine path. Thank you for that. And there's an opportunity to give either online. Just click the donation button on our website or here on the screen. And also there's an address that you can send your donations to that we'll show here in a minute. But let's do our blessing first. Here on the screen, let's speak the words. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful. Thank you, givers, for your loving support. And I think we have a screen with the address if you'd rather mail in your donation to our P.O. Box 9733 in Naperville, 60567. And as we are sharing our gifts, I'll just invite Kim-Char to come back on. I guess I could put my little earphone back in to make sure we're all connected. Are we all connected?
We're connected. Hi, Kitty.
Hi, welcome back.
Man, what a beautiful message. I do have a song, but I have to tell you, when I listen to your messages, I have like 5 or 6 different songs that pop into mind that I want to sing. I'm like, but we don't have the PowerPoint up for that. So you know what? I'm just almost tempted later this afternoon to jump on Facebook and sing a few of those songs that this message prompts. Yeah, thank you so much. But
okay, I can't stand it. What song are you thinking? Will you tell us?
Well, there's that song that goes, "My heart is an open door. I walk through. I know I can." Oh, yes. And a couple others.
Okay. Please come back.
Yeah, maybe this afternoon on Facebook.
Facebook Live, everybody.
But we have a PowerPoint for this particular song. I thought this would be nice, Kitty, because it's Earth Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So happy Earth
Coming
Day,
up
everyone.
on the 22nd, I think.
On
right?
the 22nd. It's Earth Day
Yes,
week.
this week.
That qualify. So this is a song by Daniel Nahmod I thought would be nice for it.
Awesome.
God, you are every mountain. God, you are every ocean. God, you are every canyon, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every morning. God, you are every midnight. God, you are every moment, every second of my life. And everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. And God, you are every sunrise. God, you are every moon glow. God, you are every star shine, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every springtime. God, you are every snowfall. God, you are every season, every second of my life. And everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you.
Thank you. Love that.
Welcome.
That is just so, it binds me together with our earth and
Yes.
spirit at the same time. I love those
Yes.
words. Thank you for that one.
You're welcome.
And I'm just going to invite Kim to sit here with me as we go through some of the announcements of things. Again, you are not going to believe what we have going on this week as a way for you to experience community, right? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So some of this I'll just go really quickly, and you can always go to unityinnaperville.org and click on the event calendar for any day of the week to see what's happening and how you connect through different links. So the Wayne Dyer class begins or picks up again this week on Tuesday at 7 and Saturday at 9:30 in the morning. So just check the website for details about how you can do that. We're going to be talking a lot about what I talked about today, using the power of our imagination to transform our life experience. So I hope you'll join me for that. Kim, what's going on Tuesdays and Thursdays these days?
It's still happening every week. Tuesdays, Thursdays at 12 noon. We go to about 1 o'clock. Lunch Together Online. You just go to unitycommunityconnect.com, click the Lunch Together Online channel, and join us in our video chat. You may be eating lunch and share what's in your lunch bag with the rest of us, or you may just come and hang out. It doesn't matter. We have a good time, and it's wonderful to see people throughout the week. It really is. Please join us.
Yeah. And also, Sharon is meeting with whoever wants to join her at noon on Wednesdays for Be Inspired or Inspire Others. And I think if you download this document that I put up there, While We Wait questions, that might be a good document to look at during your hour. Not that I want to tell Sharon what to talk about this week, but usually the focus is on what the message was about. So you've got some handouts to work with. I hope you'll join her for that. Same place, unitycommunityconnect.com, and look for Be Inspired. And then also on Wednesday, that's April 22nd at 3 p.m., Mallory Bales, who you may remember, she used to attend our church and then moved to Colorado and went to a spiritual institute. And she is doing a guided meditation online, a very special one.
Very cool.
That she only has room for 10 people to participate. So if you're interested in that, again, check our website to see how to register in advance for that one. Register in advance for Wednesday, April 22nd, 3 o'clock. It's called Sacred Journeys. Kim, what is happening on Thursday night? Do you have something there?
Well, I know we have Prayerful Connection happening again on Thursday night, and that's at 7:15. Let me look at the
Right.
slide. 7:15 p.m. And that is not a video call. It is a conference call. So you call in through a phone line number, and that can be found at unityinnaperville.org, besides being on the screen right now. So you'll have access to that information this week. Just go. It should be on the homepage. I believe there's a button for it, Kitty.
Great. And you want to talk about the 12 powers?
Yes. Well, a lot of you know that last year we had, throughout the year, a monthly Spirit Rise songwriting workshop, each month focusing on one of the 12 powers or divine attributes of man. And we finished 12 songs, and now we're continuing rolling along with our 12 powers exploration by doing something called the 12 Powers Project. This is exciting, Kitty, okay?
Yeah, I can't wait.
I know, this is very exciting. We decided, you know what, we've got 12 wonderful songs. We're going to record an album of those and bring our choir members in and other people in to sing that and do it as a fundraiser. And then we all thought, what if we expanded it to include different types of artwork and writings and other perhaps musical pieces that people create. So we are inviting you to participate in the 12 Powers Project, which will culminate in a recording and also a book. A book, Kitty!
A book. This is going to be awesome.
A book with, colored pages and illustrations of artwork that's submitted and whatnot. Now, I imagine we won't be able to put every piece on, but we'll have a full website devoted to the 12 Powers Project and focus and feature all of the art that's submitted, all the writings. But we will have some in that book that comes at the end of this all. And so I figured, during this time, speaking of what are we doing during this time, while we wait, we can focus on these divine powers and look more into them and how they're expressing in our lives. And this week...
Go ahead. I was going to ask if there's some. I think we have a document available for them.
Well, thank you. Yes, you sent me. Because of your 12 Powers class that you did, you had a 12 Powers resource document. It's a PDF, and that is currently available. I'll double check with Parker. It should be at unitycommunityconnect.com, and we have a new channel called the 12 Powers Project. Go right there, and you can download that PDF and just jump into all those resources that Kitty has lovingly provided and see how that sparks your imagination and creativity. And I will put on online later on tomorrow probably more information on how you submit your artwork for this project. But heads up, for this week, we're focusing in on the divine powers of release, also known as elimination, right, Kitty?
Yes.
And
or
also
renunciation.
Renunciation and the divine power of life. So release and life are the divine powers for this week as you think about.
So are you thinking that they need to do their writing or their artwork this week for those two powers?
No. You really because sometimes it doesn't happen that week, but you can put that on your back burner or your front burner, wherever you want. But it gives us a focus for this week. So
we're trying to get these all done by a certain time.
In the next 6 weeks, in the next 6 weeks, we're trying to get it all done. So we're throwing out 2 every week for you to really focus on and see if that prompts you. But you honestly can start with any divine power you choose. And
look for the document first. That'll kind of guide you as to what the powers are and which one inspires you and where you want to go from there.
Yes, and later on this week, like I said, I'll put a more descriptive video up about it. There. So that's the 12 powers.
Let's talk about the concert too. What's going on there?
I love this. You ready, guys? Are you ready? May 1st, it's a Friday night, 7:30 p.m. We are going to have a Feed the Body, Feed the Soul concert. So Unity in Naperville presents a concert fundraiser for Naperville food pantries. And I was just going to, honestly, Kitty, I thought, I'll just go and play a few songs. And then I called a few friends, and they're like, I'm in. So I'll be there that night for this online virtual concert. But so will our friends Bob Sima and Shannon Plummer.
Wow.
So will our friend Denise Rosier. So will there's more. So will our friend Summer Osborne. So, and so I have a few more feelers out, but I didn't get confirmations yet. But I think our little list is going to grow. So what a concert. May 1st.
When is that?
May 1st, Friday, 7:30. Go ahead, mark your calendars, everyone.
Yes.
Put it right down. And depending on who else says yes, I don't know how long this thing's going to be. But we'll try to keep it an hour and a half. But it'll be wonderful.
It's so fantastic. And
yeah,
what a great
and all
cause.
to raise funds for the Naperville food pantries.
Wonderful. Thank you. There's more people. Sharon is asking folks if you're interested in Sojourners or Richard Rohr's contemplation. Center for Action and Contemplation. It's CAC. I know that. The two of them, and I'm sorry, I can't remember the other gentleman's name from Sojourners. Do you remember?
No. Richard
Okay.
Rohr.
There's been a podcast done between the two of them on the topic of spiritual and social transformation. And she's inviting people into discussion with her about this podcast. So go listen to it first. That's what we want to get across this week. We'll give you the date of the actual discussion. Can you read that, Kim? I can't see. April 28th. At 7:00 for the discussion. But this week is a good time to go and listen to the podcast. And the link for that is in the Unity Community Connect site. Okay. Parker's telling me you should just go to our website calendar, unityinnaperville.org. Go to that Tuesday, April 28th date, click on that spiritual and social transformation event, and it will have a link to the podcast. So you want to listen to it in advance and then join Sharon for the discussion coming up that night. And also, one last thing is, we would love to be able to support our congregation with masks. I know that if they haven't already in your community, they're probably getting close to insisting that when you go out into the stores, et cetera, that you have a mask on. And if you don't have one, we want to help support you in that. So we're looking for people who can sew very simple patterns. It might just be bandana kind of things, as far as I'm concerned, but very simple. We'd provide the materials for you. And then the next thing we'll do is worry about how we would get it to people who need it. So if you can sew even a little bit, if you've got a sewing machine, then you're probably going to be able to do this. Would you please send an email to admin@unityinnaperville.org? Does it say that on the screen? Okay, admin@unityinnaperville.org. And just say, yes, I can help sew. And then we will be in touch with you about how to help us create some of these masks. Nice. And if you have a need for a mask, go ahead and let me know, or send send a message to that same email address, admin@unityinnaperville.org. Yes, I need a mask. Okay. So, wow. Have we talked about a lot here?
That's a lot. That's a lot. There's a lot.
Who says we're sheltering in place here? We're sheltering in place, but we're doing a whole lot in this place. Let me just tell you.
We're keeping busy.
Yeah, no kidding. All right. Well, here's our closing affirmation for today. If you want to text in comments to us, we're going to stay at the end of the service and read your comments or answer your questions. So, Parker, can we go back to that text phone number? Here's a phone number for you to text your questions or comments for today, 630-793-0993. And we'll be talking to you in just a minute. But let's finish tonight. Wait, today. It's today. This room's Let's finish with an affirmation and a song. Here we go. Up here on the screen is our affirmation for today. Let's say it together. Waiting is never wasted time when I keep my thoughts on God.
Yes.
I'm not kidding you. That's the truth. Okay, yes. Kim-Char, let's sing something.
Okay, let's sing this song. I'm kind of used to hearing someone with a tambourine on this. So if you got something at home, go ahead and shake it. Let's sing. Day by day, day by day, oh dear Lord, three things I pray: to see thee more clearly, love thee more dearly, follow thee more nearly, day by day. Let's sing it again. Day by day, day by day, oh dear Lord, three things I pray: to see thee more
Yes. Day by day, friends.
Day by
Day by
day.
day. That's how we get through this, day by day.